Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So, a couple of days ago, I saw this article. To New Possibilities, I speak truth to power without fear. This happens every time. I'm sorry about that. Somehow it doesn't let you turn down the volume before you get started for some reason, at least on my computer. So I'm sorry about that. But anyway, I saw this article on Facebook about R. Kelly, about this black woman who bailed him out. And I want to share this article with you, and then I want to provide some brief comments. When I saw this article, I just wondered, what is wrong with some of our black women, man? You know, that's the thought that immediately came to my mind. And I also saw a couple of other things that made me think the same thing. And I actually thought about putting them all together and just doing one video, just wondering what's wrong with some of our black women. But instead, I'm just going to tackle this one at a time, talk about each one of these particular issues one at a time, probably in separate videos. And I'm debating whether or not to talk about one of these subjects. And I'll get into that a little bit later. But let me share this article with you. Shout out to Hollow Ninja. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so let me share my screen with you all. Just bear with me 1 second. So here's an article from Daily Mail, and it talks about this daycare owner who bailed out R. Kelly. She took $100,000 of her own money to bail out R. Kelly. So I'm just going to read a couple of excerpts. First, I'm going to show you this image so you'll know exactly who we're talking about. This is the woman right here who bailed out R. Kelly. So the article talks about how this woman bailed him out. She posted his $100,000 bond within months after meeting him. So she met him back in September. According to this article, her name is Valencia Love. She's 47 years old. They met on a cruise around Lake Michigan. She had been a fan of his, and then after meeting him, she was all obsessed with him. And it talks about how she received a 7-figure settlement after filing a wrongful death lawsuit against a hospital that was treating her young daughter who passed away in 2010. So that's why she has all this money to bail this guy out. And also she owns a restaurant. According to this article, she purchased that restaurant with her money around the time, after the settlement. And she owns a daycare as well. And it's important to go back over some of these allegations involved here. First of all, you all know that R. Kelly has a horrific track record of, being accused of being a sexual predator, abusing young women, young girls, as a matter of fact, teenagers. We all know that he married Aaliyah when she was only 15 years old. We know that there were criminal charges against him for having sex with a 14-year-old girl years ago. There was a videotape of this man sexually abusing this girl, urinating on this girl. He managed to get off in that case because the girl refused to testify. And now you have this new case where there are at least 2 videos of this man having sex with underage girls. This article points out some of the allegations. One of the victims, who goes by the name HW, was 17 years old when he's accused of having sex with this girl. It talks about him, it goes into detail. I don't need to go into detail. You all can read this article for yourself. I'll post a link in the description box so that you could check it out. But it cites like 3 girls who were underage that this man had sex with. And then there's another one who's an adult victim who was sexually assaulted as well. This man is accused of aggravated criminal sexual assault, and he faces many years, if he's convicted. It's important to note that, this was, this indictment follows, this went before a grand jury, and they decided to indict this man on these charges. And as you all know, this attorney, the attorney that represented one of Donald Trump's accusers, this attorney, Michael Avenatti, I think that's his name, he turned over a videotape that shows R. Kelly having sex with a 14-year-old girl. He recently turned that over to the police, and that's part of the reason why these charges are being filed against him. And we all know that this comes after that series, Surviving R. Kelly, that talks about all these underage girls that this guy had sex with. Also, it talks about him having like a sexual cult where he basically holds young women against their will, sexually abuses them, physically abuses them, and verbally abuses them, emotionally abuses them. You all know about those allegations. So that's another thing that's going on. And that series was on Lifetime, as you all know. And what's happened is that you have this black woman right here. This black woman decided to bail this man out, even though he's accused of abusing black girls and black women. To me, that makes zero sense that a black woman would do something like this. And it just makes me wonder, like, what's going through her mind? Like, why would any black woman in her right mind do something like this? Why would any black woman in her right mind act as some kind of handmaiden to this sexual predator? Defend this predator, bail this predator out. R. Kelly would still be behind bars if it wasn't for this woman. This woman is, in fact, an enabler. She has enabled this man by bailing this guy out. And also, I mean, when I heard this story, it reminded me of those mothers who allow like these men to abuse their own daughters. It's a shame. Like, we hear the expression about how black women are not respected and protected in this society. And it's a shame when you have black women themselves that don't believe in protecting black girls and black women. And I'm sure that there are a lot of black women that have, that continue to buy this guy's music, continue to go to his concerts and all that stuff, despite all these allegations against him. And that reminds me, I remember reading like a month ago or so that you have women basically asking R. Kelly to take them prisoner and stuff like that. They went to one of his concerts and they were celebrating this guy, talking about take me as a prisoner too. That's the kind of stuff that some women do. Some women think like this. And it's very disturbing. And unfortunately, there's a lot of black women that do this stuff, man. And it's a damn shame, man. And it just makes me wonder, like, what is going through this woman's head? Like, why would she think that it was a good idea to bail out a man that's accused of abusing black girls? A man that is accused of urinating on a 14-year-old girl and engaging in all kinds of despicable acts with teenagers. Why does she think that this is something that should be defended? Why does she think that this is some guy that needs to be bailed out? It just doesn't make any kind of sense. I mean, in some ways, it reminds me of some of these women that are fans of guys that are openly misogynistic here on YouTube. You got people that follow, women who follow and support misogynistic, abusive men. And it's just a damn shame. So let me see what you all are saying before I sign out. Let me stop sharing my screen for a second. See what folks are saying before I sign out. I'm not going to keep y'all long. Just wanted to share my thoughts about this and just my disgust. It's really disgusting that something like this would happen. Good morning to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Hollow Ninja 10 again. Shout out to Gwendolyn Bard. Shout out to T-Boy. T-Boy said it's basically a situation of fandom over pride. Yeah, it's like their pride takes a back seat to, their admiration for this man's music and what he represents, I guess. And to me, that's sick. It's sick that somebody would be more concerned with like the type of music that you put out, the way music makes you feel, than they are concerned about how this man is treating Black girls and women. Yeah, so somebody said white women bail out their white men for crimes every day and be, I mean, are we supposed to use like white people as a standard? So white people do something that's okay. I mean, that kind of logic reminds me of these people that say, well, all these white men get away with abusing white women, so why can't R. Kelly basically get away with abusing Black women? To me, that logic doesn't make any kind of sense because I'm not using white people as like a barometer or measurement for like good conduct and stuff. It just doesn't make any kind of sense for any woman to defend somebody that is accused of abusing women. That's like me defending somebody that's accused of killing Black people or abusing Black people, and I'm a Black person. But anyway, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Also, before I close out, I want to let you all know that I posted a video on my art channel, and it displays a lot of the art that I did during Black History Month. Like throughout Black History Month, I drew a different historical figure for every single day. For 28 days, I drew 28 drawings. So I hope you all can check out that particular video, check out my art. And if you're interested in purchasing any art, you can email me at newpossibilitiesblog@yahoo.com. A link to that video will be in the description box so that you can check it out. But anyway, I want to hear your thoughts about this situation involving Valencia Love bailing out R. Kelly. What do you think that it says about her? What do you think it says about some Black women in our community? So I really want to hear your opinions. Also, I want to let you all know that I plan to do a couple of other hangouts this morning, real quick hangouts. I want to do one. I'm thinking about doing one about the Oscars. I also want to do one about Stephon Clark, in his situation, what's happened with his case, and just talk about like the reactions of some Black women here on YouTube dealing with that situation and just about how it turned out. And there's some other things. I want to make an announcement about a video that I plan to do later as well. I may do that video today, or I may do that video, later on this week. But, look out for that announcement in a few minutes. I want to come on here and do a quick live stream about that. So, yeah, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.